Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK, just out in my garden today and showing you one of the most vigorous garden weeds that I've got going on, just so that you guys know about it. It is a bit of a disappointing edible, but one that I think everyone should know about anyway. And we've got it down here in its first year. This plant here might look familiar to you. Growing all over the place because there's a cultivar of this. If you come this way, I'll show you. Look at it, it's all in the grass everywhere around here. Plenty of it around. Along with my buttercups and my clover and my violets. I do like a lawn that's got everything in it apart from grass, or lots of things in it apart from grass. Now, here's where you might recognise it from. These are our cultivated parsnips, and this is our wild parsnip. Pastinaca sativa, I think is its name. And yeah, it does have an edible root, and that root will smell of parsnip. Now, these are all my second year parsnips that I left in over winter, and I've planted a load of peas in there, which I'm hoping will climb up them. They'll use the parsnips as a frame, because those parsnips were all a bit small last year. I got all the big ones out of there. Now, over here, I've brought you around here because in the vegetable patch, which is actually going to be easier to dig in, I've got a wild parsnip in its second year. This is its flowering stem coming up out of the middle, and that got chopped accidentally by me the other day. But here's our second year parsnip. And in the spring of its second year, or the autumn of its first year really, is when you want to harvest your wild parsnips. So let's see what we get. Of a parsnip, a wild parsnip, Pastinaca sativa, that's been growing in pretty fertile ground for its whole life cycle undisturbed. And that, I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with. That is the biggest wild parsnip that I've ever dug up. So I might actually have a go at cooking this one and seeing how it turns out. But normally with your wild parsnips, they would be even thinner than this. You definitely get a lovely smell. It's a shame we don't have smell-o-vision, because you get that lovely parsnip smell, which is another identifier for this plant. But yeah, you don't get a huge amount of lovely root for your efforts. There are lookalikes for this plant as well. You know, it's in the Umbellifer or the Apiaceae family, and there's things like fool's watercress, I suppose, looks quite similar to this, but that'll be growing around water or in water. Also doesn't look too dissimilar, I suppose, to some of the water dropworts, which are very, very dangerous plants. So, you know, if you're picking from this family, the carrot family, you really need to know what you're doing. But if you get that really, really lovely strong smell of parsnip from the root, then it's probably skinny wild parsnip that you've actually got. If you've got a big chunky taproot on a plant grown by water, then there's more chance that it's hemlock water dropwort, which is probably one of the most poisonous plants in the whole northern hemisphere of the planet. That's why I say that if you're picking from this family, this genus, then yeah, be 100% sure of what you're doing. Anyway, Pastinaca sativa, the wild parsnip. One last little word of warning with this, if you're gardeners, you might know parsnip sap is phototoxic, a lot like hogweed sap. So if you're picking it on a sunny day, don't get the sap on your skin. And if you suffer from dermatological issues easily, if you've got sensitive skin, then probably pick your parsnips or trim them back with gloves on, and try not to expose your skin to the sap in particular from the plant, because they mean that you can burn. The sap is phototoxic or phytophototoxic. Phyto means plant, photo is light, and toxicity explains itself. So what that means is get the sap on your skin, and your skin will burn more easily if it's exposed to any UV radiation or sunlight. So yeah, little word of warning. And yeah, I'm going to cook this, and I might let you know how it goes in the comments below. Anyway, if you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk.com.